WFLA AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay, 970 WFLA, talking fishing. Going to be here until 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, only until 8 o'clock. I know what you're thinking.
He's back. He's back. That's what I'm thinking.
He's just going to keep saying it.
No. I mean, I like it. It's part of it. You have your Mike-isms.
Mike-isms?
Yeah.
Is that what we call them?
By the way, it's a new moon. What does that mean?
Already?
Yeah.
He's taking shots already.
We're doing Mike-isms, so we might as well just get them all out.
John Mamola, you know, you've been doing radio a long time, my friend. Has there been a moment in your career when you thought, I don't know why I brought that guy in? You ever have
not till today.
And that's me he's probably talking about.
Shots galore for you right off the bat.
The great John Mamola in the house. Our main man Derek is at FanFest today, which is going on, which is pretty cool, right? That's cool stuff.
Yeah,
getting
super
things
fun.
kicked off. Yeah, it's a good time of year to get that rocking and rolling. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah,
did you enjoy the Super Bowl?
I slept.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you did.
Solid. Yeah.
I
have to wake up early on Monday.
What about you, John? You were good with all that craziness?
Well, I was in Arizona the week before doing all the coverage for DAE.
Right,
That was a good time. The game was good. You know, I wish it didn't come down to the call at the end, but it unfortunately did. But yeah, it was a good game.
So, and I wasn't even I was going to do this at some point during the show because I'm dying to ask you. You're a Chicago Bears fan?
I am, yes.
And you currently have a very important pick in the upcoming NFL draft.
We do, yes.
What do you do with it, John Mamola?
I think we take the best defensive player on the board.
Okay.
I like Justin Fields. I know a lot of people are saying trade him to get more picks, but I'm not in that camp.
Okay. I don't know that I wouldn't trade him if I could only move down a spot or two or three. I would probably consider it.
I mean, definitely keep the option, but try to get the best defense. I mean, look, Bears are built on defense and running the football, right?
Sure.
You got to rebuild that defense.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, being a Packer fan, I hope you completely botch this thing. But
and being a Bear fan, I hope you guys never have a quarterback the rest of your existence.
Well, all we got to do to make that happen is keep Aaron Rodgers, and you'll be
exactly.
good. Good stuff. Okay, talking fishing, talking weather.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. We're back on track. Well, John
I was
Mamola
lost
here.
for a minute.
I don't get to see John all the time, and us being, NFC North guys, we got to chat it up a little bit.
Yeah, and sometimes I listen Friday afternoon when you do your fishing update on the sports show, and then I leave it on, and I get lost. But I'm interested. I learn a lot.
Well, you must be learning it from Zach and Jay, because it's not learning anything for me. Yeah. There's no doubt. So weather, I mean, all of a sudden, again, I noticed it a little bit last night, or I should say early this morning when I got in from Miami. I was at the Miami Boat Show Thursday and Friday, supposed to be home by about 9:30 last night, which turned into 2 o'clock this morning. So it was funny because I was sitting at the airport and my wife's like, so did you text Dylan and tell him you're not coming? I'm like, no, I'm going unless I'm still in Miami. I'm going to be there. So
I was wondering when you texted me at like 8:30 that you hadn't taken off yet. Your flight was at 7. I was like, I wonder when he's going to text me and tell me he's not coming.
No, I managed to get up. It was not a very pretty moment when the alarm went off this morning at 4:30. Like I said, I put my head on the pillow at 2 o'clock. But with all the nonsense that happened with the flight, it wasn't an immediate go-to-sleep moment for sure. I needed about 3 beers, which I was smart enough to not drink at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah. But I noticed it was a little breezy when I got in at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, and then this morning, obviously, hit the garage door and was like, whoo, get me up.
Yeah, we're smack dab in the middle of a kind of a mild to medium cold front, and it's going to be calming down through the day, through that late afternoon today. Tomorrow actually doesn't look too bad. Egmont Key forecast, the closer to shore is less than 2 foot by about 7 a.m. So it's actually calming down even faster than they had originally forecasted. Tomorrow, even offshore is under 3.5 foot. So it's calming down nicely, and it's shaping up to be a really good week of weather. We get a little bit of an increased wind flow there Wednesday and Thursday with a little bit of a tightening pressure gradient causing a south wind. So like kind of midweek we get that south wind flow. But besides that, the start of the work week looks really, really nice. And then we might finally, maybe, possibly be out of that weekend cold front weather pattern. I mean, the last 3 weekends and this weekend, we get Friday night, Saturday cold fronts. Right now, knock on wood, and keep your fingers crossed. It looks like we might have a weekend coming up with some actually beautiful weather. So hopefully that holds true. It does get a little bit more southerly over the weekend coming up, but a week from today, it doesn't look like we have a cold front, which is a nice welcome change. Last week, the weekend cold front was the jackwagon of the week, so maybe we fixed it. Maybe we fixed it.
Anytime you give it the jackwagon of the week stamp,
it fixed it.
It could be fixing it.
Yeah.
So
the weather was like, we got to straighten up.
Our weather update this morning is brought to you by our good friends at Reese Impact Windows and Doors, celebrating 51 years as the fastest, most trusted impact window and door company in Florida. At Reese, they install most windows and doors in 6 to 8 weeks, and now you can win them for free. Just pick up the phone and text HAPPY. Again, that's HAPPY, just like I said it, to 20129. That's 20129. Text HAPPY to 20129 to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese. Remember, text HAPPY to 20129 to win. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool deal.
$15,000 in impact windows. That's awesome.
That's not a bad deal.
No,
that's
free stuff.
Yeah,
if it's free, it's for me.
It's good stuff. Should be a good show this morning. Lots of stuff to talk about. Again, I was at the Miami Boat Show. I was in the Contender booth for 2 days. Spent some time in the Yamaha booth. Saw some of my great friends. The one thing about those events, as much as I've been doing this a long time now, so it's another Miami Boat Show. Technically, you're like, hey, Miami Boat Show, yay! Everybody's like, oh, you're so lucky. It's a Miami Boat Show. You're on your feet all day. It's a show. With that being said, the cool part for me is, I ran into
Wait. You said you're on your feet all day. Every time I saw you do a video, you were sitting down on a Contender.
I was smart.
I just wanted to
You're right, I
that.
did. Yeah, well, I get comfortable. That was right before the show opened, before you got to sit there by the 26 Bay and do your thing and help Contender sell boats, which I'll tell you was interesting. And again, it was funny because Captain Ryan Rickard was there with Skeeter boats because he's a Skeeter guy. And he came back by the booth yesterday just before lunch and was like, dude, you guys are crushed. And we were, from open to close yesterday, well, open to when I left yesterday to catch my flight that was supposed to happen at 7:30. We were packed. There was never a slow moment in the booth.
Nice.
And I was at the Skeeter booth both Thursday and Friday, headed towards where the food was because it was in that direction, and I was stopping by to get Ryan to grab some lunch. And they were slow. It was interesting to me that it seemed like the smaller boats, business was off a little bit.
Yeah.
The bigger boats, not so much, which is very normal when the idiots let gas prices get where they are and the economy gets to struggling.
Yeah.
That guy that had, $1.2 million to spend on a, 44-foot center console.
Yeah.
He still has that money. Mm-hmm. And those of us that are grinding a little harder, we're pinching pennies a little closer, and we're not quite ready to buy a $170,000 bay boat.
Especially in Miami. In Miami, that market, that big, oversized center console, and then shipping them overseas, because that's a good international spot for a boat
But you
show.
know what? But what's interesting is the amount of people that came in the booth and said hi to me, hey, love the shows. I had a couple guys that listened to the radio show from the other coast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's not as many people from Miami as you would think.
Yeah.
It's, hey, where you guys from? Orlando, where you from? We're in from Jacksonville. It was crazy. So, yeah, it's the Miami Boat Show is a big event. It really is. There's a lot of people there. And as I've been doing it for a bunch of years now with Contender, a lot of people come through the booth just to say hello. It's a neat show for sure. So.
And what was really interesting to me is we talked a lot about that big 65-foot center console that's coming out from Scout a couple of weeks ago, and had that question about it when you were up in Blue Ridge. And it was interesting to me at the recent Golf Council meeting, hanging out with the ex-VP of Yamaha, or the ex-president, Phil Disco, and talking to him a lot about these big 425s and the 450 that they unveiled at the Miami Boat Show, and these big outboard engines for these huge oversized center consoles. And he was telling me about how so much of that just immediately goes overseas and gets shipped out of the United States. We make them here, but a lot of them end up in like Dubai, the Mediterranean, and all these places that below deck show is filmed. Yeah. That's where all these big center consoles are going.
Sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah, there's no doubt. The I call them the Arabs, and not trying to use it in a bad way, but there's that part of the world.
Manoa's here this morning.
It's okay, but that part of the world, they have a lot of money.
Yeah,
and they like their toys. Yeah, and they buy a lot of toys from us. There's no doubt about that. I remember when I was part of Yellowfin, I remember hearing stories about Wiley Nagler, who would sell boats to. He had a sheik over there who loved the boats, and he literally said, "I'll build the plant. We'll build them right here." And I can't remember if it was Dubai or where it was, but he was like, "I got the money. You just come over here, lead the show. We'll build the boats right here." And while he's like, "I don't want to live there. I want to live here." But anyway, I mean, that's just how much money and how much international love there is for that center console game. In our booth at Contender, one of the 44 STs, twin 600 Merc outboards.
Wow.
Twin 600s. I was told that one of the 600s would get that boat on plane.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It was unbelievable. Crazy. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Now, I've never been around the 600. I've never seen one run or been in a boat that had that 600 Merc outboard on it, but they claim it's something else. So it's interesting.
Those 425s are amazing.
Yeah, they are amazing.
How much they push that Flying Hub 2. I mean, those 425s were an answer to our prayers. Yeah. Beautiful motors.
It's a great motor, yeah.
And now they have that 450. It's incredible. And the beautiful part about Yamaha is all that displacement. Love that displacement.
It sounds like we're Yamaha guys.
A little bit.
A little bit. Gray motors. Yeah. I like the gray motors.
The 400R is pretty cool, but I don't know.
425s, they look good on the back of them.
No replacement for displacement.
Yeah, they looked really good on the back of those big Contender boats in the booth this weekend. So, again, lots of stuff to talk about. We've got Paul Payne joining us from Power Pucks. That's PUX. It's a really cool trolling motor mount that we're going to talk to him about and introduce to you guys today. And we're going to talk fishing. We got our usual gang of misfits joining us, Captain Jim Fogel, and I'm sure we'll hear from beautiful Lake Alfred at some point this morning. So phone lines are open. You can give us a call here. What's the number? Do you know the number?
Yeah, it's 1-800-969-9352. If you want to join the conversation, give us a call.
You're the best. You're clutch. You're just clutch.
I got your back, dog.
We'll be back. 970 WFLA. Gills Apparel was started by anglers looking for one thing. We can't listen to that guy. That guy's an idiot.
So they started a thing last week while you were out, and William Earl Keene, re-windowed. So we got a re-roof and a re-window.
Really?
Company. Yeah.
That's good.
I like it.
Yeah. You got a pen over there?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have one, but I'm not that prepared, apparently. Thanks for that.
No problem. Morning, Dan the Fish Man. He said he's listening through a Bluetooth earphone hidden underneath his beanie at work. He works at Publix.
God bless him.
Morning, Jim. Morning, LaShonda. Joe Key, Alejandro, good morning.
I love our viewers.
The call screener's having some issues tonight, so you see in the red box, I'm
Thank you. I love our listeners and our viewers here on the feed, but because I didn't go to bed till 2, every time I look at my phone and see one of you is watching, I'm like, why are you awake? You should be sleeping. Or you should come do the show and I'll go to sleep.
Big O, what's up, man? Good morning.
Big O's in the house. We're just tired. I'm tired. Hey. Oh, that's the other one. Okay. I don't know what I did.
It's really hard for me to feel bad for you though, because you're like, oh, I'm gonna go home and take a nap.
100%. I mean, it's happening. Like, boom.
That's nice. We go home and hang out with my kids, do kid stuff all day. You know, I think we're going to the fair.
I've done that. Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go.
Living on the edge, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave Tampa to go back to the beaches to pick up my family and go back to Tampa. That'll be super fun. I like the fair though. Used to go back in the day.
I used to go when it was safe.
Well, they let you carry a gun at the fair now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your CCW will get you right through the door. There's a fast line for it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Hell, they probably appreciate the help.
Yeah, right. The Florida State Fairgrounds has always been really conducive, though. That's where they have all the gun shows and stuff like that.
That's true.
Ryan Ballsinger said, good morning. You guys ready to make the run to the Bahamas?
Yes.
Are you going to the Bahamas?
I'm in.
Oh. I didn't know that was on the table, but I'm in too. How was the Miami traffic at the boat show?
Oh, fantastic. It was right up there with American Airlines. Neck and neck. Phenomenal. Apparently, this is what happened. So they did such a good job doing the infrastructure in Miami. We hired the same guy to do it here in Tampa. Beautiful. Fantastic.
That's funny.
Yeah. My hotel was 5 miles from the boat show. And Thursday night, it took me an hour to get from the show to my hotel.
Wow.
At 6 o'clock. An hour to go 5 miles.
Wow. You could have just walked in less time.
This is the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson.
Welcome back. What time is it?
There's a big clock on the wall right there.
I usually have a clock right here, but it's not working. I'm looking at it going, well, it's not 16:43. So it's 6:24 here at the iHeart Media Empire. This is our last show.
Yeah.
4002 West Gandy Boulevard. That's kind of crazy.
So don't scare people. It's not our last show. It's our last show here.
That's what I said. It's our last show at 4002 Gandy
I know,
Boulevard.
but it just people's anxiety goes through the roof when you say that. Don't scare the people.
It's not the last show in the studio, but it's our last show.
No. It's the last show in the studio.
I got you.
Now you're confusing me.
That's not that hard to do. People know that already. Let's go to the phones here real quick. We got a short segment before the bottom of the hour. Let's check in with Donald in Lutz. Donald, how are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, Captain. All is well.
Good.
Yeah, I picked this day because of the new moon and supposed to have some good tides launching at Maximo Park.
Nice.
But the winds are, and it's chilly, and I forgot my jacket.
Oh, brutal.
So, yeah, I'm already here near the boat ramp. So,
well,
I'll just suck it up. So, hopefully we'll go catch some fish, and there's about 20 of us going, and we're going to go find a picnic table afterwards, about 1-ish, 2, and go fire up the grill. I got burgers and hot dogs, chips and potato salad, and drinks and all.
It's a nice park right there. Yeah,
Fun
that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. Good stuff.
Don't they have grills over at Gator Gym still?
They do.
Yeah, that's a cool park right there.
You could do Gator Gyms, too. You could slide in over there.
Mm-hmm.
That might cost you money, though.
I've seen that. They got the little tiki.
Yeah, big tables.
If you go over there, you got to be ready to spend money because it's Gator Gyms. And they have everything that you didn't know you needed. Happens to me every time I go.
I've got a lot of Gator Gym stuff. Last time I was there, I picked up this really cool shirt that they had with a hood and a bunch of tackle. So, I'm been there.
It's good stuff. I'll tell you what, that trout bite over there picked up just before I left for Miami. So, you should be able to get on some fish right there. Especially, I would work that outside edge of Indian Key, which is right there by Maximo Park. I'd work that deep grass on the drop-offs, and there should be some trout in there.
Yeah, it depends upon the wind as well. We're in kayaks and not, in a 25-foot contender.
Yeah, well, Indian Key is right there by Maximo Park. That's why I mentioned it. You don't have to go very far. So,
I know.
Unless you're just going to stay in the basin over there.
Get on the backside because the winds are coming from the north. So we're going to head out, and so we should be hopefully wind-free. On the south side of the island.
I always forget because if I'm in a kayak, I probably got a 300 Yamaha strapped to the back of it, so I don't care. I'm like, it's good either way. I forget you're like a true kayak guy. It's all good.
I got my Real Animals Bull Bay rods. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Well, good luck out there, Donald. Light them up, catch them up. I appreciate you, brother, as always. Have a great day fishing, and we'll talk to you next week.
Good luck, buddy.
Yep, appreciate you guys.
All right, partner.
Thanks, Dylan.
Be good.
You guys take care. Stay
all right,
safe.
pal.
Thanks.
It's been a while since Don called in.
His passion.
Yeah.
And he's still the greatest caller ever.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Did you ever hear that story, John Momola? Yeah, so Donald in Lutz is the single greatest Real Animals caller
He's in the
of
Hall
all
of
time.
Fame.
21 years.
Hall of Fame.
It's not even close. No one can even touch it. The dude has a heart attack the night before. He's in the hospital the morning of the show, and asks his wife for his phone so he can call in and give us a fish report.
That's dedication.
It's unbelievable, really. It's just
hardcore.
I mean, you just like
he's standing at a boat ramp right now, about to get on a kayak without a jacket.
All I can picture,
58 degrees.
All I can picture is him like arm off the hospital bed, mic drop, like literally just. I own this thing. I'm the guy. No one's going to top
If I
this.
forgot my jacket and I was standing at a boat ramp about to get on the kayak right now, I'd be like, put it back on the roof. I'm out.
I felt that.
I'd go eat at Waffle House instead of doing that.
But I was running through my brain. I'm like, do I have a jacket in my boat? It's right there at O'Neill's. I'm like, no, there's not a jacket in there. I was going to try to help a brother out. Like, oof, Donald, he's a diehard.
Oh, yeah. Way too hard. Weekend
warriors, man. The fishermen, the guys that work their tails off all week and they get to fish on Saturday and Sunday, they're like,
cold fronts be darned. I'm going fishing.
I'm going fishing. It's happening. Phone lines again are open, 1-800-969-9352. Your questions, comments, fishing reports, bring them right here. Light them up. We'll be back. 970 WFLA.
Wait. Big O said I went to Ron's a couple of weeks ago and he's selling the place.
Ron Shuffle?
I don't know.
Say it's not true, Big O.
Big O says he has a Minn Kota 45 on his kayak. Ron Millsaps. He said, isn't Captain Mike in a kayak considered a sail-propelled vehicle? That's funny. That's funny.
That is funny.
I think our windage from our side is counteracted by our weight.
Yeah.
Large holes in the water.
I always imagine, when I think about me in a kayak, I imagine one 12-foot kayak for each foot.
They make pretty big kayaks, and I thought that too until I got in a Hobie kayak one time. And then I was like, this is pretty legit.
Is it?
Yeah. And those Hobie Outbacks, they're machines.
Is that a pedal one?
Yeah. But they're so wide now, those sit-on-top kayaks. I mean, I can stand up and feel confident in a kayak.
Really?
Yeah. Paddleboard? Mm-mm.
Yeah, paddleboards are tough.
Kayaks are really, really, really hefty nowadays. Hefty enough for me. And that's saying something.
D-Hub's hefty. I like it.
Yeah. But they're heavy as heck. I mean, some of those big, wide, stable kayaks that you can stand up in, they are heavy. Like we did that kayak adventure trip offshore. It was kayak, I forget what we called it, kayak mothership trip. And they started getting those. We had to figure out a different way to do it because that's, in my opinion, what caused me to have back surgery when I was 21. Is these kayaks? They went from like the basic slender light kayaks to all of a sudden now they've got pedal drives. They got little Minn Kota motors under them. They've got bottom machines on them. They're like boats.
So it gets heavy.
Oh yeah, it got heavy real fast. And we were just using gaffs, one guy on either side, and lowering them down off the side of the party boat, and that did not work for those heavy ones. Yeah, that was crazy. But Big O is saying it's true. Ron is selling his place, so I'll have to ask him if he calls in.
That's painful.
Yeah. Who's going to be our freshwater guru?
I don't know. We'll have to put it out there. We'll need another one.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Listen, is that seriously?
What?
I can't. I just can't. I can't. She's going to act like the American people feel a sense of responsibility to stand with Ukraine. Or we could just sit on our hands and do nothing like you ass clowns.
There's that video I was talking about.
Free self-defense class being offered.
Wait, what did I miss?
That's what it said on that.
Oh, what did it say?
Free defense class
really?
being offered.
That's funny. Well, constitutional carry might pass in the state of Florida, and then you won't need a self-defense class.
Unbelievable.
Marine Quest is today.
Is it?
That would be way more fun.
So Marine Quest and Fan Fest are both going on in St. Pete?
Yeah, I guess. We should have Eric Weather call in. I'm surprised they don't do a better job of advertising Marine Quest.
I've offered.
Saturday, February 18th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All day.
Free admission. Dude, I'm so going to this. Screw the fair.
Kids will probably enjoy it more anyway.
Yeah.
Although the food won't be as good.
No, that's true. But it'll be closer. Not driving to Tampa.
We used to do the shows live from there.
From Marine Quest?
From the fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah. DJ from Brandon Ford, when we were working with DJ, would have us out there live every year. And I'd get tickets. He'd give us tickets, and then the girls would show up, and that's the day we would do the fair because I was already there.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if anything irritates me more than the whole planet just sitting on their hands while Russia just pummels the Ukraine. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
There's so many things wrong with today's world. We don't have enough time to talk about it. I'm listening to this really cool podcast about business, but he's like, he really struggles to stay on the topic of business. He keeps going back to politics. It's really funny.
I like it.
He keeps saying the biggest problem is the participation trophies.
Radio show presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back, 6:36 here at the iHeart Media Empire. For your calendar, put down March 28th. It's a Tuesday. Captain Scott Moore, the legend himself, will join me out at Bartow Ford for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation. Our good friends at Silver Ring Cafe will be serving up the incredible Cubans, stuffed potatoes, and devil crabs. Ingle coolers, Bull Bay rods, Real Animal swag. We'll have goodies to give away. I'll have some more Gills gear to give away as well. The fact you can just come out there for free and pick the brain of a guy like Captain Scott Moore, it should just tell you to just put it on your calendar. If you want to learn more about catching fish, it doesn't get any better than that guy. It just doesn't.
No, and that's going to be a special event for sure. And Captain Scott Moore just knows so much. He's forgotten more about fishing than most people know. Myself
included, 100%. Yeah. He's a legend.
It's amazing.
So that'll be very, very cool. Let's, speaking of Ron at Ron's Tackle Box, as we were talking about him at the break, he is joining us for our freshwater report from out there in beautiful Lake Alfred. Ronnie, how are you this morning?
Doing great this morning. How about you fellas?
We were doing really good, and then one of our listeners,
multiple now.
No, multiples?
Yeah, multiple have confirmed.
Okay, so we have confirmed this with everyone but you. Are you selling Ron's Tackle Box?
Yes.
I didn't know.
I'm going to retire.
Good for you, buddy.
Moving up the Crystal River area.
This is ridiculous. Yeah. Why do you want to retire?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. We hope. No, I've been 46 years of doing this. That's pretty good.
I think you earned it. Yeah. You've earned it. Yeah, you've earned it.
But it could be a while. I mean, I'm selling the property, I'm selling the business, I'm selling whatever they want. Hopefully I can have somebody continue this on because I built a pretty good rapport with people around this area in Polk County.
Sure.
And it'd be a great opportunity for somebody to come in here. Not somebody retired, because this isn't retiring here. 14 hours a day.
Oh, yeah. There ain't no doubt about it. You got to get after it.
That's the plan. It could be a year, it could be tomorrow, it could be a couple years.
All right.
He's not in a rush.
The Lord knows where I'm at, so hopefully send me the right person.
Well, you're under contract with us for a while yet, so. Just so
I know.
You re-signed. You might not have known it, but you re-signed.
I just signed for you. So.
That's it. They're going to be shooting a movie here at my store this week.
Really?
I don't know. It's about bass fishing, I heard, but I don't know who's all involved and who's going to be here. But using my store as a backdrop, it's going to be pretty interesting.
That's cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You have to
and I was going to tell you, when them guys come out to your seminar out at Bartow Ford, what they ought to do is come out a little earlier and take a look at them trucks out there.
Listen, I'll tell you what, the inventory issues that a lot of the dealerships have had are clearing up, and things are getting much better at the dealerships. And when I talked to Mike Biedenbow at our last fishing conversation, he said they've been busy as all get out, selling trucks and cars left and right.
Out there, I'm not getting paid to tell you guys this, but they'll treat you the best of anywhere you've ever been.
I couldn't agree more.
All my customers that come in here for years tell me how great Bartow Ford is. So it's not just you guys promoting it. It's the truth.
Yeah, I've got people, some of my Ring Power people that I fish on a regular basis, when they saw my truck Bartow Forded up, they're like, dude, those people are amazing. So
absolutely.
It's good stuff.
That's awesome.
Tell us about the bite.
Is at its prime, a lot of bedding fish. It's been really good. Seen a lot of 8 to 10 pound fish. Good time of the year to come out here between now and April for them big bass and the big crappies. So
awesome.
It's, in between the wind, just come out. There's a lot of small lakes you can fish in to get out of the wind. And it's just a great time this time of year. A lot of kids, people taking their kids, having a great time because they're catching fish.
Do you think, Ronnie, is it any better on the new or the full moon this time of year? Does it matter? Or is it just,
the full moon, the shellcracker bite's always real good.
Okay.
I don't know about the others. It seems to be on right now, no matter what the weather, no matter what the moon is.
Probably more water temp.
The fish are active.
Yeah, water temp based, I would think.
People catching big crappies and catching bass on the big crappies.
Wow.
So it's like, man, these guys are hungry out here.
That's a big bait for a bass. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
You know it.
That would be cool. That's very cool. That's good.
Our buddy Dave Ostenberg from Fox Channel 13 News, who does the weather over there before our fishing segment every Friday, he actually went bass fishing this past Saturday, and he was bass fishing on Lake Tarpon and caught an 8.11-pound bass, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he got all fired up, and he was all happy, and he was telling the guy, well, now I gotta get a bigger one. I want an over 10-pound bass. And the captain was like, well, we got to go to the Winter Haven chain of lakes.
That's right.
So
you come out here every year, this time of year, I see at least 1 15 or over every year.
Yeah.
And sometimes 2 or 3.
And this bass fishing guide was like, that's where we got to go.
And let it go.
It's
not really hurting anything.
The good Lord knows that I should not catch a 15-pound bass, because if I catch a 15-pound bass, there's a good chance I'll be drunk for a week. Seriously, I may just call in and be like, I'm out. I'm
retiring.
Yeah, I'm just mic drop. I'm drinking. Party's over. Yeah.
But they're right here. These 2 lakes right here in town, Lake Rochelle, Lake Haynes, both of them produce big fish like that.
Wow,
that's crazy.
So this is, I'm right in the middle of both of them lakes.
Well, you are the man. You are the freshwater guru.
There's a lot of other lakes that you see them too, but I don't hear about them because I'm further from them lakes. But it's real good.
That's awesome.
Real good this time of year.
So what was the big bass this week? I didn't hear.
Right at 8 pounds.
8 up. That's a solid fish.
Solid fish.
Several of them.
Wow.
I mean, not just one. 8-pound bass is nice.
Yeah.
That's a trophy.
Really good fish for sure. Well, it's good to see. Good to see. Glad things are going well.
Everybody catches an 8-pounder, they claim it's a 12.
Oh yeah, especially the way you take a photo of it. It's all about the angle.
Yeah,
they get bigger as they get older.
It's interesting.
If you have it for 10 minutes, it gained 3 pounds.
That's not a freshwater thing only. That's saltwater and freshwater.
Oh, okay.
They just fish.
People out here
Systematically grow. It's just crazy.
Hey, that's fishing in general.
Tell everybody how they can find you out there, Ronnie, if they want to buy a great tackle store or just come out and see you and get some great tackle.
Absolutely. I've got a huge inventory, 3,000 square foot of it.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So you'd be amazed. Come
That's
on
awesome.
out and we'll make a deal.
What's the address? How do they find you, brother?
I'm at 380 South Lakeshore Way, which is 1792 in Lake Alfred. That's out in Polk County. Phone number 863-956-4990.
We do appreciate you, my brother. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Yeah, buddy. Be good, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
All right, partner.
See you.
Good stuff. Kind of hope he gets his dream sale there. Somebody comes in and buys that thing, keeps it rolling for him, and he can just ride off into the sunset. That's what it's all about.
And what's cool about that is it's not like a big corporation. You can tell in his voice just from the way he was talking about it is not only does, of course, he's probably going to want a decent price, but he really wants the right person to buy it. He wants someone that's going to hopefully continue on that legacy.
Because I just call them mom and pop tackle stores. They make a living. He's been doing it all these years by people coming back, by repeat business. So he's helping people catch fish. Well, what happens when you help people catch fish? They become your friends.
Yeah.
They care about Ron because Ron's taking care of them for all these years. So Ron doesn't want to leave those people behind with somebody who's just going to run that business in the ground.
Because why? He cares.
He does care.
That's the secret. That's the secret. You just got to take care of people, treat people right.
It's amazing how many people like American Airlines.
Don't give away our jack wagon of the week yet. But it comes down to the golden rule. That's customer service. Yeah. Treat people how you want to be treated, man. Yeah. That's what it is.
Simple math.
It's not that difficult. It's not rocket science.
No, it's really not. I spent a lot of time there at the Miami Boat Show in the booth at Contender, and it was amazing to hear how many people you'd meet somebody new, and they're already Contender guys. Hey, I've been in a Contender for 10 years. I'm looking to, get a new one. I'm looking to get a new one. I'm looking to get a new one. It's crazy, just crazy, And now in that world, so many of those big boat companies are being bought by these huge corporations.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes it's weird because it's like in less than 6 months, you start to hear the horror stories already.
Mm-hmm.
These companies come in and buy these big companies and think they got it figured out. They're just looking at the books.
Yeah.
The bean counters are doing the math. And, man, he's making money. We can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, you got to have the right people. And usually they run off the guy that was there to begin with.
And the problem is they put too much emphasis on the bottom line, and they think that, we can just cut a couple corners and make this product for less money and make more net revenue. Well, it's all about the product. If your product isn't good and you don't solve people's problems and solve their issues well, and your product isn't a quality product, people aren't going to come back.
100%.
It costs a lot of money to get a new client. It costs a lot less to keep a returning client. And you got to take care of people and provide a quality product backed by great customer service.
I've said it for years that the very second you give up quality for $1,
mm-hmm.
when that's your motive, you've started your own demise.
Yep.
Party's over. Now you might be a big company, and it may take you 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But that train's hitting the wall here soon, Chief, because you just cut the quality, and people will figure it out. It's brutal.
Yeah.
But it's the world we live in, for sure. So
yeah. And it's easy. It's easy to get comfortable and successful, I'm doing well, and you can get complacent.
Yeah.
You can't be complacent.
No.
The second you stop caring or being passionate about your customer and their experience, it's the second you're on your way.
We had that conversation about a major boat company at the boat show.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Rickard and I were talking about a major company that's done that. They've been making money in the boat business for so long. And it's such a old school mentality on the way of doing things that they just don't get it, that they're actually losing footing because of this mentality.
And it's today's world, too. Today's world has shifted. The customer has such a louder voice.
100%.
I mean, 10, 15, 20 years ago, think back to the Mad Men show back in the 60s and 70s. They could put out a BS product and they could say whatever they want. And people couldn't talk to each other. Now, in today's world of social media, you do someone wrong, they're going to go out and tell 1,000 people, anybody who will listen. They'll be on the 6 o'clock news hiring people to investigate your company and your bad customer service.
Everybody and their brother's a YouTuber.
Yeah, and the message gets out there a lot faster.
Yeah.
So people have a voice, and you can't screw people over.
No, it doesn't bode well. It does not bode well. So how's the offshore fishing been? Have you guys been able to get out much?
Not too much, not offshore. Occasionally we have these weather windows. Like it looks like Sunday is very doable, and the fishing should be hot right out there. Deep Sunday, if you can make it out there, because right on the backside of that cold front and deeper water beyond 110, 120 foot, right around that range, those fish should be excited because it shouldn't get too stirred up out there because it's not that strong of a front. Near shore, you might want to wait until Monday-ish, warm up, things stabilize a little bit more, shallower water gets more affected. Near shore bite's been crazy. Hogfish galore.
I heard the snapper bite is crazy.
Dude, the lanes in the mangroves are jumping in the boat. Thursdays all day had, I want to say, close to 65 keeper mangrove snapper and like over 125 keeper lanes. Plenty of the white grunts, gray snapper, porgies. And a good number of hogfish. I want to say like 15 to 18 hogfish off the top of my head Thursday. So they crushed it on the all-day Thursday. And then the private charters are just absolutely demolishing lane snapper, mangrove snapper, hogfish, a couple keeper red group or two.
I'm headed to Crystal River on Monday to film with Brandon Branch, who's a sicko. And I was talking to him just on my way, as a matter of fact, on my way to the airport, which is a whole nother story. But he literally told me, he's like, dude, I'm catching like 5 or 6 20 to 25 inch mangrove snapper a trip.
Wow. In shallow water, that's saying something.
And it's got to be in 15, 20 foot of water max up there. I mean, in a bay boat.
What's
so
weird?
Crazy.
What's weird about mangroves? We don't have enough time to cover it, but we'll get into it later in the show. But mangroves are changing for sure. Yeah,
that's a good population. So lots of good stuff coming your way. Keep it tuned right here. 1-800-969-9352. We'll be back. Captain Mike Anderson here for Gator Jim's Fishing Tackle.
What?
Nice sheet with the affordable roofing.
The re-roof?
Yeah, my re-roof.
I got
you
it.
have it? Yeah, I don't have it. I don't know what I did, if I threw one out last week or what I did. But
I put it in the box of the computer so I don't lose it.
Well, it was in my folder, but I must have, because I had both of them on Saturday and Sunday, I must have got rid of them somehow. That was stupid.
Somebody on the Hubbard's Marina said, "Oh, look, your part-time co-host is back."
Wow. That's okay.
That's funny.
I've got a lot of time behind the mic. It's about time I had a partner I could trust and get away a little bit on the weekends.
I won't tell you what Ron Millsaps is saying on the other one.
What'd he say?
He said what Ron Shelfo has earned is a visit from Mike Anderson to his store.
It's true. You're 100% true. 100%. 100% true.
Re-Rond.
Re-Rond. So he said.
Pango Marine is a perfect example of that. Deke Darcy said, not taking care of people, being bought out.
It's crazy. That's what's going on at Yellowfin.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just.
Yellowfin got bought out?
By
Really?
Invincible.
By Invincible. Wow.
And then Invincible, I think, got bought out by. The whole thing got bought out by somebody else, and now they're building the hulls in Mexico.
Wow.
Shipping the hulls up here, and then putting them together up here.
For an Invincible or a Yellowfin, that's an expensive boat to do. That's crazy.
I can't. I know Wiley walked away from it.
Robert Ellis, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you had fun with Steady Action Fishing Charters. They do a good job.
Jason Prieto.
Yeah.
Great charter captain.
He is. He's a good guy.
He is.
He's one of our board members at the Florida Guides Association. He's actually the executive vice president of the Florida Guides Association.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Dude, this chemical spill in Ohio is nuts, man. It's not going to be good for us.
Is that the train?
Yeah.
I just saw it. I had
The amount of chemicals that went into the atmosphere that are going to get rained down on crops all over the Midwest, and then the amount of chemicals that got spilled in the water table that are going to go right down the Mississippi River into the Gulf of Mexico. Not good. I mean, that happened right there at the
Where were they
tributary.
training those? Where were they taking that train to?
Who knows? I don't know.
Florida? Piney Point?
I don't know, but that's a lot of chemicals spilled in the water. I like how he tells us. It's nice.
He's a good guy, that guy.
Yeah.
Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Putting a quick shout out to our good friends at Affordable Roofing. They are absolutely incredible. Whether you need a shingle, metal tile, or a flat roof, they're your safest choice for repairs or replacements. Defined by integrity, respect, honesty. They got a personalized and professional approach to doing business. Give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Again, phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352. We've got Paul Payne with Power Pucks going to join us right after the 7 a.m. break. So 7:06, 7:07 there somewhere. He will be joining us to talk about his great new product. I've got it on my boat. I've had it on my boat now for 4 or 5 months. He came into the booth and joined me for probably an hour. He probably thought he was coming in just to say hello. And I took his flyer and drug him around to all the guys on the inside at Contender, and they were blown. Like every guy, all the dealers, everybody was like, "Can I have a flyer? I need a flyer. How do we get our hands on that? I mean, it was crazy. So this is a really, really neat product. One of the biggest problems with trolling motors is your wires get exposed. A lot of them have plugs. They plug in, and now the trolling motors are removable.
Yeah.
Well, this is an actual trolling motor quick release bracket that has power to the bracket. You don't have any wires on the deck. You don't have any plug. You don't have any corrosion issues at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really a neat product. So
I was kind of interested myself because I've seen them advertised and kind of seen like the power quick release. I was like, how is that even a thing? But I was kind of interested when you said they were going to be calling in because I was interested to learn more about it too.
It's a thing, and it works, and it's really bad to the bone. And again, I thought it was cool because I just happened to be starting to have some problems with my trolling motor, and I get a new boat every year, so you definitely shouldn't have any corrosion issues, ramping up quite that quick. But what was happening to me was we'd run across the bay when it was a little choppy, and the vibration alone would back my trolling motor plug out a little bit. And other boats I had didn't do it. This particular boat, I just couldn't keep it locked in there good. Not sure what the deal was. Same plug they always put in the boat.
Yeah.
But when Paul started to talk to me about this thing, I thought, man, I wonder if that doesn't just clear up my issues. Because I go to use my trolling motor. When I run all the way across the bay, you pull up on the flat, you want to get to your spot, put the trolling motor in the water, and it doesn't work. You're like, what the heck? Well, I got to fiddle fart around and see what's going on with what wire and what plug. And
then, never want to be fiddle farting.
No, it's never good. So not when you're doing important things like fishing. So anyway,
I think fishing is fiddle farting
at its highest level, though. At the highest level,
professional fiddle farting.
That's right. But I mean, it changed the game. Like the minute Paul came and put it on my boat,
nice.
I have no more issues.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
And I would argue, boat's only a year old. You don't have corrosion issues to worry about. I don't know about that. It takes a day of salt water to rust something.
I'm not soaking it in salt water either. You got to
those runs across the bay, man. You get some salt spray.
Yeah.
Not a 26 bay.
You have been in a contender, apparently. We need to get you a new boat.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm looking forward to talking to Paul. Super good guy from right over in Titusville. So it's another incredible Florida-based product. Just a really neat tool. So we'll talk to him just real quickly and let everybody know it's powerpucks.com, and it's PUX. Super cool product, so I'm looking forward to.
Interesting. When are we doing our jack wagon of the week?
Well, we're going to have to do it right there somewhere. We'll have to do it after we talk to Paul. That could be a long one because I had a really, really bad run-in with this week's jack wagon of the week.
It's gonna be fun.
No,
guys.
it won't. It's just
it'll be worth it.
We could talk about the worms in the business.
The worms,
the sneaky little worms in the fishing business.
Watch out for the worms.
Watch out for the worms. Those individuals who act like they're really, really something in the fishing business that have never done anything in their entire life.
Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. That's the big one.
Phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. Paul Payne with Power Pucks on the other side. We'll be back. Putting him at that 7 o'clock is the perfect time for him to call.
Yeah.
But it's a bad time because we do our jack wagon of the week right there. I must have been up until 2 o'clock in the morning. What was I thinking? Phone lines are quiet this morning.
You're getting whacked in the comments.
Why am I getting whacked? What did I do, people? Why is everyone picking on me? Stop picking on me.
They said, is Mike talking about his trolling motor performance? A new segue for his newest sponsor, Viagra.
Hey, that shit ain't cheap, man. That'd be great. You guys know somebody I could call?
You got a number for me?
Yeah, we can put Viagra on the side of the boat. That works for me. Them pharmaceutical companies make a lot of money, dude.
They've got a budget.
We could tap into that. This could be the
big pharma money.
The Bartow Ford Viagra Real Animals Fishing Show. I'm not scared. Ronnie, you're picking on me a lot, dude.
I purposely didn't say his name.
Yeah, Millsaps is picking on me a lot. I'm going to assume that's a good thing, Ronnie.
It means he likes you.
It could be worse, right? Now he's trying to get me to buy stuff too. When he visits, I need to buy one of his hand-carved lure displays.
Ron Millsap said if he bought Ron Tacklebox, they wouldn't have to change the name.
That's true. Wow. Look at that lady. Nikki Haley, you see that? Mm-hmm. That's great. Why do we even have politicians over 75 years old?
I think it's, again, participation trophies and term limits.
It's unbelievable, dude.
Big problem.
You're 112 freaking years old. What do you know about what's going on in the real world? Your party's over, bro. You've already sucked all the money out of Americans. Go to bed. God, it's terrible. Walk into the freaking White House on a cane and shit. Give me a break, bro. Go lay down somewhere. It's horrible.
You know, that's ageism, right?
I don't care what it is. I promise you, I won't be doing it. 75, I'll be chilling. Sitting on the porch with my bride. Drinking a cold beer. Like you're supposed to be. Them idiots got too much power.
So someone asked what chemicals were carried on the train. It said around 50 of the train's 150 cars were affected by the derailment. Approximately 20 cars were listed as containing hazardous chemicals, including vinyl chloride, which is a carcinogen. That's crazy.
That's great. Got any other good news for us?
Vinyl chloride, butyl archolate, and ethyl hexyl acrylate were released into the air, soil, and water following the derailment. Chronic exposure to vinyl chloride can cause liver damage. At high concentrations, it can cause dizziness, drowsiness, and headaches. That's crazy.
That's great, yeah.
They're saying the air and the water hasn't been contaminated, but it will give you liver disease. What? That's crazy. Morning, David. Morning, Donald.
As warm as yesterday, only topping out in the low to mid 70s, but we'll have plenty of sunshine throughout the day. The sky will clear late morning into the afternoon, but it will be a little breezy. The wind will be out of the northeast around 10 miles per hour, even up to 15. National Federated Meteorologist.
The railroad company's going to cover the cleanup costs. Well, that's big of you. You guys are awesome.
Just like the BP oil spill.
Thank you, sir. Captain Gene Hammond calling in too. That Warrior shootout's coming up.
Mm-hmm. EPA administrator, trust the government, he says. Don't worry, guys. We've got this. The EPA's got our back.
It's just how stupid you are. He actually went on national television and said that out loud.
But people literally believe that. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy. One of the jokes at the Golf Council is Oh, we're from the federal government. We're here to help.
We had a long conversation about you and a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Me and the Pro Marine guys.
Oh, yeah?
It was positive on your half. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. They're fans. They're fans of you and what you're doing, but they're in the same boat I am mentally.
Yeah.
Weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. 7:06 here. This is normally where we drop our Jack Wagon of the week, which we will get to. We won't let you down there. We'll drop that. But we've also got Captain Gene Hammond on the line with his Warrior Shootout coming up. We'll get to that as well. But first, we're going to take a quick couple of minutes here and check in as we've been talking about the world's first power-supplied trolling motor quick-release bracket. And it is brought to you by Power Pucks. And the inventor, the man, the guru behind this cool product is Paul Payne, and he is joining us now. Paul, how are you?
I'm doing well, Mike. Good talking to you. Good seeing you yesterday at the Miami Boat Show.
Yeah. It looked like you were having some fun in that booth once word started to swerve around and you were handing out those flyers and everybody was starting to see what this thing does. It was in it. Even after you left, I had guys looking at me like waving the flyer at me going, dude, thank you so much for introducing me to that guy. That's a cool product. So
it's been fun. You know, I never wanted to be a salesman, so to speak, but, you know, coming up with a product like this, I get that kind of attention everywhere that I go. So, you know, it's been really fun like that.
I get it. Like I said, it's I talked a little bit in our last segment about the way this product has kind of helped me on the boat. And I don't have a ton of time to do this, but just tell people briefly about what it is and how they can get their hands on one, you know, maybe where they can go and get some information. I gave the website out some, but I want you to do that again so people can find out about this killer product.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason that it was made, we, you know, around 2010, these GPS-guided trolling motors started hitting the market, and suddenly people really found them attractive and wanted to get one on their boat. And spot lock feature was a main reason why they liked it, and then the hands-free and everything else. But in the meantime, then all of a sudden you have to find a place to plug it in, and you got to have this cord somewhere running to get power, and there's usually not a really good, safe area to do that. And the customers that I was running a service department for a major boat manufacturer, and the customers, it was harder for them to pick out their gel coat, or pick out where they're going to put their trolling motor plug and how they're going to run the cord than it was, you know, picking out their gel coat color sometimes. So they kept asking me over and over and over again, you know, isn't there a better way? Isn't there a better way? And some people actually chose not to put the trolling motor on just because they weren't satisfied with the options that were available. So I came up with the idea one day, why don't we put the plugs inside the quick release brackets that were already on the market. They were making quick release brackets, and it's really nice to be able to get your trolling motor on and off the boat really quickly. But then, you know, you got cord management and things like that, and I thought we can make this go away, be able to stick your trolling motor on the boat, and when you do, it plugs itself into the battery when you don't see no cords or no wires. And so we got rid of, you know, those trip hazards. If you put a plug up on the deck where some people really wanted them to be close by the trolling motor, it's a toe stubber, a line catcher. Those are all things that I was worried about wanting to eliminate. And not just to mention, you know, the unsightliness of it. Trolling motors have been around forever. People are used to just looking up there and seeing a cord. You just kind of block it out of your mind, you know, because, you know, you don't have any other choice. And now you do. In the meantime, you know, over 7 years of development, thinking about what could go wrong, and I tested all different kinds of plug options and you know, just kind of crossed a lot of hurdles. We didn't realize that we also ended up solving another major issue that we didn't even anticipate, and that's corrosion and having to replace your plugs sometimes several times a year. We have a huge Pro Guide program. We've got a whole bunch of guys out there now that don't have to change their plugs out twice a year like they were used to. We've gone over 3 years without any corrosion.
That's amazing.
It's
like what we talked about earlier, solving problems. He saw a big problem, he solved it, and has a great product that he spent a lot of time developing. So it's no wonder it's a hit.
It's really, and it's a good looking product because it doesn't look out of place. He just designed it to look like the quick release brackets we're already using.
That's awesome.
So it just literally, other than having the cool name on it that says Power Pucks, it looks exactly like what you're using now, only it eliminates the wires, eliminates the plug, and it's just a no-brainer. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm just tickled by the whole process.
So if you don't like corrosion or your OCD, this is the product for you.
Yes, yeah.
Perfect.
It is. I mean, your boat is your pride and joy. For most people, it's like one of their pets or something. You want to take most care of it and do the best thing for it. And by not having to look at those plugs, and the cords anymore, it's just a kind of a no-brainer, I think.
I think it's cool. Awesome. I think it's cool, too, and I talked about this earlier in the show, that it's a Florida-based company. If you start to just sit back, and count, we've had this conversation before, and start to think about the lure companies, the rod companies, Power Pole, all the great fishing, the boat companies that are here in the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. It adds. This is just another stamp on the fishing capital of the world. I mean, it's all it is. So congratulations to you, Paul. I think it's a great product. Again, the world's first power-supplied trolling motor quick-release bracket. It's priced right. It's a great product. Like I was saying before, when I introduced Paul to the right people at Contender, their eyes were wide open. Like immediately guys were like, dude, you did this? I was thinking about this. Like that's awesome. It was just really cool to see Kenny and those guys light up getting to talk to you yesterday in the Contender booth. So great job with a great product, Paul. Thank you so much for partnering with me, and I'm blessed. I feel blessed to have you and to be able to promote a product like this. So keep up the good work. We'll talk to you more as we move forward. Power Pucks is on, obviously, as a partner with Real Animals, and we're super excited to have them. So it's good stuff. Go to powerpucks.com. Now, when I pull it up,
it's actually PWR.
Exactly. I was going to say PWR. Yeah.
.com. Yes.
PWRPUX.com, which is brilliant.
Yeah, but if you do a Google search, it pops up. It's like the number one result if you type Power Pucks on there.
That's what I did, and that's how it came up. You're the man, my friend. Thanks so much for getting up early this morning and shining some light on this product for our listeners. We appreciate you, pal.
We appreciate you, too. Everybody be safe out there and successful if you get out on the water this weekend.
All right, brother. Thank you, sir. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, pal.
See you, buddy.
Great stuff. I'm telling you, it's a cool product. PWRPUX.com. Super cool.
It's already in the stream.
Oh, you got it? You're the man. Yeah.
I was interested.
It's a cool product. It is a cool product. Let's check in with our good friend from Reeling Freedom, Captain Gene Hammond. Gino, how are you, pal?
Good, Captain Mike. How you doing, buddy? How was the show?
It was good. It was good. I was surprised. It was a pretty busy show. I heard Wednesday. I was not down there Wednesday. I came in first thing Thursday morning, and I heard Wednesday was pretty slow, but Thursday and Friday was busy.
Yeah, I wanted to go down there, but I just didn't have the time. But I'm glad you had a great show. I love going to those events.
Yeah, you're doing important. You guys are doing important stuff with Reeling Freedom and getting ready for this big event. So we forgive you.
Yeah, we got a Warrior Shootout coming up 2 weeks from today. Want to thank you again, Dylan Hubbard, for sending us those trips on your boats. So we're going to give those away to some lucky veterans, and thanks to all the captains out there that help us out, that send in vouchers as well. From Mike Dawson up here, and Paul and I always do trips and try to get as many veterans on the water as possible. It's a really good community, and we're going to have a great time. This is our 5th annual Warrior Shootout, so it should be a good time. Hope to see you there. Come out and see us for sure.
Reeling Freedom has done so much great stuff with our veterans, and everybody knows by now, if you've been listening to the show, that we're huge fans of our veteran community here. So our veterans, both here and abroad, that keep us safe and all those great things.
I always say it right. Water has that therapeutic. It's a therapeutic process, right? It definitely has therapeutic properties, and just being on the water and forgetting about a lot of that stuff and catching fish or just watching the sunrise, sunset. It's a good thing. It's why I do it. It's part of my therapy, and I want to try to get as many veterans on the water as possible.
Again, you do a great job, brother. Keep up the great work.
You can always reach me at 727-698-2959, or just go to reelingfreedom.org. Check us out on social media as well. We're working hard. Get as many veterans on the water as possible. It's good stuff.
Keep up the great work, Gino, and stay in touch with us. We want to keep promoting this for you, all right?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Have a good day, Jim.
You too,
See you,
Gino.
buddy.
Good stuff. They really do great things there. It's amazing. Let's quickly get in our Milwaukee Tools Safe Boating Tip of the Week. Captain Jim Fogel joining us, U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary Captain Jim Fogel. Jimmy, what's up?
Hey, Captain Dylan, Captain Mike. Good to hear you guys.
Yeah,
listen, in this time of year when it's kind of chilly and kind of windy, and we haven't been on the water maybe as much as we want to be, it's a good time to do that preventative maintenance to get ready for the springtime.
Amen to that.
In addition to your recommended engine maintenance, which we all should do, once a year or 100 hours, something like that, depending on your engine, you want to take a day off and just go through that whole boat. Check over your toolkit. Re-oil, replace the tools that have gotten all gnarled up, rusty, throw them out, get some new ones. Look in all the hatches, open them up, clean them out, air them out, get everything out of there. Check those filters, hoses. Remember, hose clamps that are below the water line should have at least 2 clamps, not at least, but two stainless steel clamps on all of your hoses. And don't crimp on buying the clamps. Buy stainless steel clamps.
You said
there are some that are sold, and the actual clamp is stainless, but the screw is not stainless, so that doesn't last very long. It boogers up trying to tighten them and loosen them up. But anyway, repair and replace where necessary. Check those hoses. If you haven't checked your hoses down in the bilge in a couple of years, they could be getting old, and definitely they could be getting cracked. And you know what that's going to do. That's going to take you right on down if you aren't careful. Close and reopen your seacocks and valves. Make sure you can do it with your hand when you need to and not have to use a wrench or something like that. Those are things that will save you from going to the bottom. Get one of those new 4-spar sponge-type plugs. Keep that in the bilge down there somewhere in case you have a big leak that you need to plug up. There's probably a couple different ones, but there's a company called 4-Spar that makes one. It's made out of material kind of like the wiffle balls and things. Top off the batteries, clean up the connections, tighten cables. Check the automatic switch on your bilge pumps, guys. Put some water in there if it hadn't gone off lately. If you haven't heard it in the last couple of trips, put fresh water in there and let it pump it out. Anyway, point being, go stem to stern, get that boat checked out. If you ain't got any rust on any screws or bolts or anything, get them out of there, replace them, or clean them up and put them back in.
You're the man, Jim.
Be ready when that weather changes.
No doubt. You are the man. That's such a great tip. So much great information, brother. Well done.
Thank you, guys, for the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete. It's Jim Fogel. Be safe out there. If you guys have time, talk about these new pyramids they're putting out on the water somewhere around Skyway.
Yep. We'll do that. I saw
All right, guys.
I saw him. You the man.
Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy. Our safe voting tip of the week brought to you by our good friends at Milwaukee Tool. If you're looking to buy yourself some new tools, we highly recommend them. Dylan and I both have incredible Milwaukee tools at our disposal that work great, so check them out today. We are going to talk to Jeff in Sarasota on the other side. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back.
This is Jared Sandell with The Friendly Home Buyer, and we buy houses in any condition with no hassle and no repairs. We specialize in ugly houses, unwanted rentals, code violations, vacant land, foreclosures, and inherited houses.
They're just putting them in the water to protect the shoreline from erosion.
Is that what they're doing? Mm-hmm. I saw him down on the Skyway edge there. Did you hear him say boogered up?
No, I didn't hear him say that.
He said boogered up. I'm like, yeah, we're getting in Fogel's head too.
$6.4 million state project
for those
pyramids.
I wonder if that's the biodome.
They're gonna place them along the shoreline to break wave action.
Is it called a biodome?
No.
Because Jeff from Sarasota wants to talk about the Biodome Project Skyway. That's what it says.
I don't know.
Could be the same thing.
Maybe. That's crazy, though. You didn't pull that out of the McDonald's bag.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, but I put it in there.
You went apple picking?
No, they were already in a bag. But Mercier's up there in Blue Ridge.
Oh, yeah. Good place.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I had done a good job losing all that weight, and then we went up there for a couple days, and I put it all back on. God.
Vacations will do that to you.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. We got a short segment. We got to plug affordable yet.
Yeah, on the whole fisheries thing, yesterday we did a film day at the studio, and I knocked out like 30 videos, just ripped through a bunch of like tips and tricks videos and like policy videos and just stuff for our website and our social media. But at the end of the day, I filmed a 35-minute diatribe on all things fisheries. So it'll be interesting when that one hits the internet.
Is Cameron doing all that?
No, I did it at my studio with our camera in the shop. So it was pretty interesting. So that'll be fun. It's 35 minutes, so I doubt anybody will even watch it. They'll watch 5 minutes and leave a nasty comment and move on.
We should probably do another podcast and talk about it. I'll have you on as a guest on the podcast, and we'll talk about the marine fisheries situations and all that. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll hit you up for that.
All right.
Good advertising for you and your brand.
Isn't your podcast studio in Feather Sound too?
No.
No?
I usually shoot them right there at Beckel's place. Right down corner of Gandy and West Shore. His dignitary Kava house and all that stuff. There's a little room back there that they use. And then
Beckles, as in Beckles and Retcher?
Yeah, Ian Beckles. Yeah.
So he has a podcast studio?
Mm-hmm. Huh. He does. That's what he's doing now is just podcasts.
Did we lose you?
No, yeah. They were outdoor wedding and the lady got pooped on by a bird.
I get pooped on all the time, so I can't laugh. Literally once a week I get pooped on.
Where was I?
Okay. And he's back.
Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Short segment before the bottom of the hour. Want to make sure we get to our callers. If you want to join us, 1-800-969-9352. We'll cover our jack wagon of the week here as we roll into our big segment after the bottom of the hour. Let's go to Jeff in Sarasota. Jeff, what's on your mind this morning? Talk to us.
Hey, good morning, captains. How are y'all doing this morning?
We're good,
doing
man.
Good, man.
What's going on? Talk to me.
Hey, I had a question, and the gentleman, the Coast Guard gentleman,
Jim Fogel,
kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but a little bit of a segue, I suppose. Those bio pyramids that they're building, there's got to be about as many of those as there are new palm trees out there. Where are they placing those? Because those things are about 8 to 10 feet tall. Where do you know where they're putting those? What the placement's going to be?
It's such a great question. It's such a great call. I thought they were just doing. I thought it was a reef stuff, but Dylan and his. We brought Dylan in because of his technical skills, and he was able to pull that up.
I literally just Googled it. That's all I did. But what I've seen here is it's an interesting idea that they've actually been toying around with quite a bit when it comes to shoreline restoration and shoreline preservation. And basically the idea with those biodomes or pyramids or artificial reefs or whatever you want to call them is they're going to place them and kind of make a wall with them. What looks to me to be the south side of some of the approaches, but basically it creates a wall to break down wave action. So in areas of erosion concern, you place a wall like that, and so that way any wave action that's going to be coming at the shoreline you're trying to preserve, the wave action doesn't erode that shoreline. And it also will help preserve and protect the seagrass behind these pyramids heading towards that shoreline. And seagrass beds also help protect the shorelines. But when you have increased wave action that's battering a shoreline, it can tear up the seagrass beds and thus further erode that shoreline more quickly. But these things will get out there. They'll get a bunch of growth on them. It'll help the water. Growth
structure.
Right. Yeah, added growth, any little bit of oysters, clams, seagrass that those things grow are going to help filter the water. It's going to help preserve and protect some seagrass. So it's an all-around win-win-win for everybody.
So I think the important thing, Jeff, I think the important thing is that these are a lot more important than those palm trees.
Very much so.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I understand the concept, and then they've got them down in Grand Cayman all over the place, and I know Tampa Bay Watch does a lot of placement of biodomes, but the water around there is pretty shallow, and like I said, those things are 8 to 10 feet tall.
Yes,
isn't it going to create a boating hazard?
Oh, 100%. It'll create a boating hazard.
100%.
100%. But it'll also create an attractive nuisance, right? I mean, if there's an 8 to 10 foot wall and 8 to 10 foot of water, when that high tide is up and those things have a bunch of growth on them, they're going to be holding sheep's head this time of year pretty darn well. It'll be like a jetty, a rock jetty. It'll be marked, and you'll have to know about it. You'll have to avoid it. But yeah, it'll definitely, instead of running into a sandy shoreline, you're going to run into some rock.
Of all the things, again, obviously, Jeff, you've been listening for too long. I appreciate you, but, God help you. But, I mean, the palm trees I don't get. Like, I just don't understand the expense.
Or the lights on the Skyway you're so fond of.
Yeah, let's light the Skyway up in the middle of the night, spend millions of dollars on that nonsense. But at least to me, this is something, you're trying to save those shorelines, which is important on areas like the Skyway, where you have, obviously, roads and traffic concerns.
Let's do it on the beaches.
I don't know why. I was just thinking the same thing.
The beaches, no more sand, no more beach restoration, and we've got all those artificial reefs up and down the whole coast of Florida. That'd be pretty sweet.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, at least here they're adding structure. Yeah. They're adding, estuary.
Let's make them 30 to 40 feet off the beach. That'd be real sweet.
Yeah, a little deeper. It's a great call, Jeff. Well done.
Thank you for your time, guys.
You bet. Thanks for listening, dude. That was a great call. Fantastic.
I love the idea of artificial reef structure to break down a wave action.
I was thinking the same thing when you were talking about it. I'm like,
let's do it at Egmont Key. They're worried about all the Egmont Key shoreline erosion. Let's put a wall on the west side of Egmont Key.
Why not?
Woo, that'd be nice.
I mean, sounds like a no-brainer to me.
Let's start that.
Simple game. All right. 1-800-969-9352. We'll be doing the Jack Wagon of the Week, plus a couple other things on the other side. Hang tight. It's going to be a fun close. We'll be back. I didn't follow through correctly, apparently.
Yeah, that was an epic fail.
That's great.
I don't know what we're going to do in the new studio if we're on opposite sides of the table and we can't get the shot.
I don't know either. We're going to have to figure that out. Maybe put it in the corner somewhere. We'll have to,
but that thing's not very tall.
No, but they might make a taller one.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, obviously we'll...
That's a DJ stand, so it's only supposed to be like as tall as what you would use standing up, We'll have to figure something out, though. Because if we're on opposite sides of the table and it has to be over in the corner, we'll both be on camera, but you'll be this small. Maybe we do split screen and use a webcam, so that way it's 2 cameras. Yeah.
Just let me know if we need to buy something additional. Then don't eat that. If you don't have it already, or we can help with that, then just let me know. We'll figure it out.
Because I think a little webcam on a tripod, so that way we both have our own camera, would be the answer. Mm-hmm.
That might be.
Or maybe they might do their own thing, like they had at WD or the DAE studios.
Yeah.
Seems like with a new fancy studio, they'd have their own cameras. That would make sense, at least.
No cameras in the new studios that we could tie into?
Yeah, there's a camera set up. We haven't tested it yet, but each individual mic has its own mini cam on it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but as far as like how to shoot it out, like on your Facebook page or something like that, I don't think we're gonna have that option for the studios itself. So that's why this setup may still have to work. But I mean, we could at least ask to see if we can do like a preset Facebook page just to kind of see if we can do that.
I can't do talk to control. Oh, I'll ask them after. But if there's already cameras in the mics, if there's a way to plug in, because like the audio in this mic has an audio out, so I can just plug into the audio.
That's what I'm thinking. Like if we took some time to kind of spend some time in the studio,
yeah,
kind of walk through some stuff. Now we're not using the video setup yet.
I got you.
Use that probably in about a month. But,
yeah.
At least ask those questions and just kind of see if we get some answers on it. If we still have to do this kind of setup, or if we can use the technology that's
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Because if I can pull the audio out, there's no reason I shouldn't be able to pull the video
With all
out.
you've had going on, you don't have all of this figured out yet, John?
Maybe by Tuesday.
Because I would imagine
I have faith in you.
that camera's got to have an HDMI port out that you could plug into a computer.
Because I'll tell you, we had like 7 engineers in that building, and all of them had questions about different things. And it's like, guys, you just got to do radio. Let's just do radio. Just do a show. When my guys sit down, let them talk about the Rays.
Zach sounded very happy when he went to me and I was there.
Well, the phone system's weird because like there's no phone. It's all on computer.
Yeah.
So like when you call in, they talk to you through the board, and they put you on hold on a computer. And the host, you're going to be putting up guys on a computer. So there's no like phone. There's no privacy.
That's how our phones are at the Marina. There's still a handset, but it's useless. It all goes through a computer. It's literally just there for show.
Right now, I'm watching DAE over here because this is the first like weekend, and last night we had some issues with ESPN, so I'm trying to see if we have any issues today. So yeah, it's a mess. They don't have everything right yet.
I thought that
we could tell after last week here. That was crazy.
He said he could tell after last week here. He said it was crazy. I was thinking, I was pretty sure I had a conversation with Chris Sektig where I said, listen, I don't like change. Why all this change? I'm old.
We have the first moves because we have an older staff. Oh. And I told Tommy, my boss, I was like, hey, look, I mean, there's going to be guys that are going to be pushing back on shit. You just have to accept it.
Yeah.
I think I've learned just from, being here for so long that it's, I stomp around for 15 or 20 minutes and then it dawns on me that it doesn't matter really what I think. They're going to do it anyway, so I just got to figure it out.
Put it this way, the one thing you're going to have to get used to right away, you can't see me.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. That's going to be very weird. And I personally don't like it because I interact a lot with my engineers, even the ones that have been back there that don't seem to want to talk. I'm like, bro, talk. Sometimes somebody's late or whatever. You're helping me out. Let's play a little bit. If you got questions during the show, let's go,
Yeah, that's the hardest part because, like, it's all
Yeah.
So like you have to cast off a computer to one of the televisions to even see me.
Yeah.
And it's really weird. It's a weird dynamic.
Hopefully we'll be able to do that because I like that part. With Pat Donovan, we'll say something, I catch Pat laughing, so then you can get him to add in.
Yeah,
Derek's been punching in.
We'll have a full week in the studios by the time you use DA. We'll have about a half a week by the time you use FLA.
We'll figure it out. I've been on live remote where things went totally crazy, and I've made it through 21 years of crazy.
For 9 o'clock, that's our first live broadcast from on site somewhere. So we'll see.
I'll be listening. Hopefully hopefully it all goes well, boss.
Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Again, I want to put a shout out to our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. Shingle, metal, tile, flat roof, doesn't really matter. They do it all. They've got 3 decades of roofing experience. Absolutely incredible people. I spent a lot of time on the boat with the guys over there, and they're just great people. They're family people, people I trust, people I would put the Real Animals brand on. So, if you're looking for a roof, give them a shot. We've had several listeners that have used them. We've gotten rave reviews. We've even had listeners call them about doing roofs that they couldn't do because it was too far for them to go, but they still gave them a bunch of great advice, things to look for that helped them. So great company. Call 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. So, Jackwagon of the Week.
Yes, sir.
I was really struggling because overall the boat show was phenomenal. I caught some fish early in the week. The bite was good. Ended up there, Miami. No big deal. Everything was kind of cool. And then I was leaving the boat show yesterday. And again, that went cool too because one of the guys in the booth was like, hey, dude, there's rain coming, like a lot of rain. Well, you got to walk to get to a cab. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, man, I was planning on leaving at 3:30. Maybe I roll out of here 3:15 and try and be. Just as I walk outside, it's just starting to drizzle. I mean, not a drizzle that you're worried about, but I'm like, this is perfect timing. I literally sit down in the cab, boom, starts to rain. I'm like, yeah, I made it. We got plenty of time. Flight doesn't leave until 7:35. We don't board until like 7:05. I'm like, I'm at the airport for a while in Miami. No big deal. Piece of cake. Traffic stinks. It's Miami. Everybody knows that. No big deal. It takes me an hour or so to get there. The line for security was absolutely whack. How about this? This is how it starts. So I can't, how you check in for your flight, right? And you get your boarding pass. That's what I did at home before I left in my office.
No.
I print my boarding pass.
Oh my gosh.
You do it on your phone.
You don't print the internet, Mike.
Whatever. No,
you don't print the internet.
Whatever. Anyway, so I have my boarding pass for my trip there, so I can't.
Checked in on his computer.
I'm not downloading an app. They want you to put the American Airlines app on your phone.
You put it in your digital wallet. You don't have to download an app.
Whatever. Shut up. Turn his mic off. So, Mamola's laughing at me too now. He's even down there.
Everybody's laughing.
I don't care. I don't care about that
internet.
part. So here's the crazy part. So I go to the airport, I get my boarding pass, and it says gate E7. And I'm bummed a little bit because I came in on the D.
This is another reason you don't print your boarding pass because the gates change.
I get it. There's giant billboards in there. You can see when it changes, right?
Well,
but it didn't change on time. Either way, it's when you looked at the board, it said E7. Okay, so I'm all the way down at E when I find out it's now eating horrible food because E has horrible food in it. I got to go all the way back to D34. So I get all the way back to D34 only to find out that the flight's been moved back again.
So never print your boarding pass is the moral of the story.
Whatever.
Always
You're going to be the jackwagon of the week before this is done if you don't zip it. The point of my story was
this is all self-inflicted.
It's not self-inflicted. How do you think? I didn't break
the internet.
What does that have to do with that?
That's 100%.
It's just part of the story.
Dude, everybody knows when you're air traveling that the gates will flip-flop back and forth. That's why you always bring it up on your phone. And if it changes, you know before you're walking to your thing. And I'm looking at it as I'm walking to my thing because often you'll be walking to your gate and they'll switch the gate on you.
So you're the jackwagon walking down the thing, not paying attention to where he's walking? Because the next dude that does that, when I'm walking in the airport, I'm going to lay him out. Because you're looking at your phone when you should be paying attention to my big butt coming at you.
Oh, so you're saying that you can't glance down at your phone and check?
I'm just saying, that wasn't even the point of my story. Why are you boogering up the jackwagon of the week? I get it. They flip-flop. Dude, I've flown all over the world, so I understand how the airline works. I get it.
Apparently
that wasn't really the whole part of the story. The part of the story was that American Airlines screwed this flight up so bad that we left 4 hours after we were supposed to. They boarded us on the plane to have us sit on the tarmac. Why would you do that? You know the plane is broke. Why would you put us on the plane to sit on the plane? Well, we got maintenance coming to the plane. You knew they were coming. Why didn't you wait till they came first? That doesn't make any sense. That's just ignorant.
They wanted to keep you there.
Well, we were there.
Because if they delayed you, your flight was supposed to leave at 7:30. It was 8:30 at this point. They boarded you to tell you, oh, it's going to be another hour and a half before you actually take off. That's crazy.
No, dude. We boarded at like 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Then we're on the plane, and he tells us, hey, we're waiting on maintenance to come out and bring some tape. Seriously, they said some
we need duct tape and zip ties.
Flight tape for a panel we noticed was loose on the walk-around. So before you, the captain, before you got up top and said, yeah, board the plane, you knew you had a maintenance issue. Why would you put all the people on the plane? We're already standing there waiting.
They were just waiting for duct tape, man.
Dude, that's what he had in his hand. I saw the dude walk with his little ladder. It was unbelievable. So it's got to be American Airlines, has to be the jackwagon of the week. So here it gets better. So we're already way late. We land at like 12:30 in Tampa, okay? I'm supposed to be in at like 9:30. It's 12:30. Everybody's happy. Like, okay, we made it. We're in Tampa. We're taxiing to our – dude, there's another plane in our spot. So the pilot comes on and goes, to add insult to injury, which is what he said, we're going to be about 30 minutes waiting for them to move this plane. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, American Airlines only has one gate? I mean, what are we doing here? Mm-hmm. You don't have any other open ones where you could get our butts off the plane? You had people who missed their rental cars because the rental car places were now closed. Dude, there was mad people everywhere, dude. I just couldn't believe it. I was laughing. I wasn't even upset in my seat. I'm just laughing. I'm like, what moron runs this place? Like, seriously, whoever was in charge last night of American Airlines, he's not qualified to run a bowling alley from midnight till 7 a.m. He's an idiot. Seriously, don't you think?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of lessons learned here. I mean, first of all, always electronic boarding pass. Okay. Second of all, if you're going to fly somewhere, for me, at least my personal qualifications, traveling around to these Gulf Council meetings and flying in the United States, if it's let's say an 8-hour car ride, 6-hour car ride, I'm going to drive instead of taking a 2-hour flight because of all the issues you just relayed. Yeah, especially now in today's world, how much more common these flight delays have gotten and just how pathetic and inexcusable the lack of customer service, the blatant lack of customer service that occurs. And what's so wild is those poor people who actually work on that plane that you were on last night were probably brutalized, those poor flight attendants. And what's so pathetic and wrong is when you get on an airplane, literally to get like treated really special, like you're the king of the world, all you have to do is smile 100%. And be a little nice to the flight attendants. And they're so taken aback and surprised because they're just used to people being so rude and brutal to them.
I actually said, as I walked off the plane, I just looked at them and you could kind of see they were just kind of like pushing themselves to make eye contact with you because they felt bad. And I was like, I just kind of smiled a little bit and said, hey, have a good night. Because it wasn't their fault. I get it for the most part. I don't think he should have put us on the plane. If you knew you had a maintenance issue, you should have waited until, dude, there was like one thing after another. They get the plane fixed and the pilot says they came up here and grabbed the log and they have to write down in the log what they did. Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I was in the military, worked on the flight line. I get it. Everything's got to be documented. Then they had to take the log back somewhere and input it into a computer, Mr. Technology. It's American Airlines. You don't have a laptop with you jackwagons? Seriously?
Would have used an iPad probably.
Okay, great. Heck, you can put them in your pocket these days. I mean, what is the deal, bro? I was like,
you got some big pockets.
So it even got funnier. So we spent 30 minutes on the tarmac here in Tampa because there's a plane at our gate that apparently needed to get moved. So we pull into the gate, and again, he stops short of the gate, and everything's happening out my window. I'm in the window seat, and I'm like, I said out loud, I'm like, there's no ground crew.
Because it's late. Your plane was delayed.
Dude, no one's on the radio going, hey, dude, these people I was playing a long time. Make sure somebody's down there to get them people off. Like you said, customer service is just horrible.
Yeah, it's blatant.
It's horrible.
And what's interesting about that is I'm reading this book right now about that very thing, customer service. And what's funny is, like, if these little things add up to a plane full of angry people, whereas if they're treated really, really nice off the bat and you're experiencing good service, something like that can happen. You could be delayed a little bit. You pull up and there's a plane at your gate. You got to wait 20 minutes and there's no ground crew. You got to wait 30 minutes. No big deal. But the fact is that you were delayed, then you got on the plane and there was maintenance issues, blah, 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 and it just adds up to everybody's angry.
Yeah, it was so.
And now they're on their radio show the next day complaining about how they printed their boarding passes and decided to fly from Miami instead of drive. But
Miami traffic's horrible, bro. It's horrible. Like, seriously, like, it's just as easy. You think it's better. You get an accident right there on 95 where you're trying to get off of that island, where you're trying to get off of South Beach. If there's an accident there, dude, I could have flown back sooner. But even with all the headaches I had last night.
You still have to go through the same traffic to get from the boat show to the airport. You still have to fight Miami traffic to get to the airport.
I don't have to fight it. The cab driver does. Right. I'm in the back doing business on my phone.
Swam from Miami to Tampa quicker than that.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I trust me. My wife will tell you I'm driving next year. I can promise you that. They actually redid the convention center down there now. The Miami Beach Convention Center was closed for years, and they had to move us to this other terrible location. And now I noticed, and I earmarked it. It used to be a really tough valet as well. There wasn't much parking there. It was hard to get in and out. I'm driving an F-250 just like you are, big vehicle. It was just kind of a pain in the butt down there. They've redone all that now that and it's the valet area. I'm like, when I walk by it, I'm like, note to self, the valet looks much easier now and much
I hate valet
more
in my
accessible.
truck.
Do you?
I hate it. Loathe it. I don't like anybody driving my vehicle.
Oh.
It's my baby.
It's because you have a lot of guns in there.
That's true.
That's part of the problem. Yeah. I only carry one. You carry a whole arsenal. No wonder you like to
I don't
drive.
know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
I don't recall.
Exactly. Guilty. Totally guilty.
Yeah.
You ever flown anywhere, John, where you just had a horrible experience, like a horrible trip?
Not as bad as yours, but just a little bit of a consolidation out of all this. I print my ticket and I use the app because I always assume that I'm reaching for cash at like a Starbucks and I'll drop my paper ticket somewhere, so that way I have the backup at least with the phone.
I get
there
it.
You go.
I usually, again, apparently that's another gift that Dylan has given me that I'll have to do this stupid phone ticket. With that being said, I always put it in my bag.
It's not
you
stupid.
Know what I mean? Instead of putting it in my pocket,
that
I put it in my bag.
You walk to two different wrong gates. That's
so.
stupid.
So basically, are you not going to use the app to get into the new building because it has to be
I
on your
have
phone?
to. I don't have any choice.
Oh, I guess Derek's going to have to let you in every single time. That's a complete inconvenience for him.
We could do that. Turn his mic. Who's that guy? Turn his mic off.
We have the same problem at the Marina. So we have an app that drives everything, that does all our bookings, that shows how many people are on trips and all this stuff. And we have some more experienced, more salty captains who work for us that refuse to do it. And they literally have to call the office and ask how many people are on trips. I'm like, download the app. Stop calling the office. You guys stop answering their questions. Make them download the app. It's ridiculous.
I'm glad that I'm an extension of your workplace. That's perfect. I can help you out with this stuff. It sounded like, listen, at the Miami Boat Show, all the people that I ran into that actually listened to this god-awful radio show, they were quite amused by the two of us, so we're doing something right. They love hearing you tell me what a moron I am. It's fantastic. We got one more segment here on the other side. We'll be wrapping things up this breezy Saturday morning. We'll be back, 970 WFLA.
All the radio stations you love, every playlist to match your mood, the podcasts that everyone's talking about. If it's on the iHeartRadio app, it's free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
You told me the story before the show, but you didn't add the fact that you printed your boarding passes. So I was taken aback by that. I didn't mean to mess up Jack Wagon of the Week, but you set yourself up for that.
I always print it.
I can't believe Beth lets you print boarding passes.
Dude, why not? There's a print button there for a reason.
There's also an add to your Apple Wallet button, too.
I don't use my Apple Wallet.
Oh, my God.
Why would I do that? I don't even know where that bitch is in my phone.
Oh, my gosh. Big O, the name of the book is Customer Satisfaction is Worthless and Customer Loyalty is Priceless. It's a really cool book. Oh, yeah. Fort Lauderdale Airport is a total crap hole.
Is it?
Oh, dude, it's worst.
It's worse?
Brian Pugh said stay away from Fort Lauderdale. I flew out of there one time. It was a nightmare. Orlando Executive Airport's pretty bad, too. I love PIE. That's my favorite airport. St. Pete Clearwater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
I
the
fly
bomb.
Allegiant
Yeah.
out of there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But Allegiant doesn't go to Miami.
Southwest is another good one. I don't like how you can't buy your seat because I like
That's
buying a
American.
seat.
I can buy my seat.
And boarding last because I want to be the last person on the plane because I don't like sitting down in those small airline seats. But being able to pick your seat and then board really late is nice. Southwest, you can't do that. But Southwest has a dedication to customer service. That's what their model was built around. So I feel like Southwest I've always had good experiences with.
Is there anything more frustrating as a big man than when you get on the plane, you couldn't get an exit row seat, and there's a couple sitting in the exit row. They're like 113 years old. They weigh like $130 a piece, and that bitch couldn't open that door if his life depended on it. I look right at him and go, I want you to know I'm going to trample you. I'm going to trample over your dead body when this plane goes down. I'm going to just trample over you to get to that door because your scrawny little butt is not going to be able to open it.
That's why I never buy the exit row. Because I always buy in the back on the window somewhere, and then that way if I have someone in the middle, because I'm a bigger guy too.
Yeah.
If I have someone in the middle, I can at least try to scrunch myself on at least on the window.
Yeah.
And I put my headphones on, put my hoodie on, and they don't bother anybody.
Yeah.
See, I do exit row on the window.
I do exit row on the aisle every time.
Yeah.
That's why you do it.
Yeah.
I do the aisle so I can put my leg out in the aisle.
Trip bitches.
No, I just have to stretch out.
I'm coming up to LA next month, and that's probably gonna be about 5 hours.
Ooh.
I'm hoping to God no one's next to me because I did that twice, LA for last year's Super Bowl. It was a pain in the dick because if you get that person in the middle, they're constantly moving.
Yeah.
I flew back and forth from Europe several times. 8 hours. It's an 8-hour flight.
No, thank you.
And you could smoke on the plane back then. So it was a real...
And you were littler.
Yeah, and it was smaller. I hadn't found the gym yet.
Yeah, but I always print my ticket too because I gotta get the receipts for work anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm a bad habit guy, apparently. I'm finding out from my young counterpart
You
here.
have to download an app in order to get to the new building.
That's fine. I don't mind an app I'm going to use all the time. I have those apps on my phone. But
Dude,
American
what
Airlines
does it
app,
matter?
I don't want to download
What
that
does it
bitch.
matter? You can delete it after. Just delete the app after you're done.
So gay.
Oh my gosh.
He's got people that work for him. He doesn't work for himself like I do. So he's got time to do stuff.
Oh, so much time on my hands.
We absolutely love our listeners that listen, here, the iHeart Radio app, all that stuff. But there are times when if you're not watching the stream, you're missing a little bit of the, of the fun that we have here. There's no doubt about it. Let's go to the phones real quick before we wrap this thing up. Let's go to Ray in St. Pete. Ray, how are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, man. How are you?
We're making it. We're making it, brother. What's going on?
Well, I'm just calling in, Mike, to promote our first annual Florida International Antique Tackle Show.
Nice.
It's February 24th, 5th, and 6th at the World Golf Village Renaissance Hotel in St. Augustine.
Very cool.
Very cool. Nicely done. That's cool. Those things are so awesome. They really are. Just neat stuff.
We need as many new members as we can, so the younger crowd just isn't into it like they used to be. So we try to promote it as much as we can.
You got to come up with an app.
Oh my God!
If you come up with an app, dude, they'll be all over it, bro. I'm just telling you.
That's out of my realm.
I hear you.
Techno idiot.
I hear you, brother. Me too. Well, thanks for calling and plug away as much as you need to. All right.
I appreciate your time. Thanks, guys.
All good, my brother. Good stuff. Good stuff.
You know, apps are old now, right?
Weather.
We don't do apps anymore. It's mobile optimized websites.
We need it. Oh, here we go. Now he's got big words.
It's very sad that you're still talking about apps.
How about a weather
That was
update?
so 2010.
How about a weather update?
Weather is looking good right now for the early part of the work week. I would say if you're going offshore, Sunday, Monday's the best. Near shore, Monday, Tuesday. If you're inshore fishing, hit those sheep's head today. Maybe redfish, trout tomorrow. Snook probably Monday afternoon. Tuesday's going to start pouring out of those creeks, rivers, bayous. We get a little bit of an increase. Is it going to warm up? Oh, yeah, real fast. It's going to be hot this the end of the work week, and they're calling like mid-80s, even upper 80s potentially by the weekend.
Got to fire it up. Find them dark bottoms close to those creeks, close to those residential canals, and you will find those snook because they will start to poke their nose out there for sure.
Some beautiful weather at the beginning of the work week, get a little windy mid-work week, and then should be hopefully a nice weekend coming up.
Yeah, good stuff for sure. Putting a shout out to our good friends again at Reese Impact Windows and Doors. They are installing most windows and doors in 6 to 8 weeks. So where a lot of companies are all backed up, Reese is on top of it. And this is your chance to win $15,000 in new impact windows and doors from Reese. All you got to do is text HAPPY to 20129. That's 20129. Text HAPPY. And you could win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese.
Speaking of free stuff, we got lots of free stuff coming up this week at our final Friday party. We got free beer, free crawfish, that Low Country boil. If you like free stuff, come out and join us this Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. at Hubbard's Marina inside John's Pass. It's a big, huge final Friday party. John's Pass wide, live music, DJs. It's going to be a great time, and we're going to be giving away free beer and free crawfish.
You know what's funny? Is I've been watching John Momoa through the glass because when I go to the new building, we won't be able to. And he's been kind of doing other stuff, and he's been busy. As soon as you said free beer, he was on us. He was like, "Woo, free!" Did he say free beer?
I'm not dumb. I'm not.
I was going to say,
perked you right
you
up.
had me at free beer. I'm in. Wouldn't want to miss it.
It's going to be a great time and lots of great food. Plus, the next day, this coming Saturday, February 25th, 2 p.m., we'll be at Bass Pro Shops for our Bass Pro Shops fishing conversation.
March 28th. Put that in your calendar as well for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation. The legend, Capt. Scott Moore, is going to join us. You don't want to miss that one. Silver Ring Cafe serving up the food, Ingle Coolers, Bullway Rods, Real Animal Swag, all kinds of good stuff happening. So it's good stuff. Enjoy this weather. I mean, it's February, so when we get these good stretches, you got to get out there, catch them up, and enjoy it.
Yeah, the cold fronts might be slowing down maybe, but that wind is going to pick up for that springtime. So take advantage of the weather windows, and don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
Saying goodbye to 4002 Gandy Boulevard. 21 years. It's cool stuff. But moving on to better and new stuff. Looking forward to it. John Momoa, thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. That is a busy, busy man in radio right there. When you hear his voice on the radio, make sure you appreciate him. He does great things around here, keeping us all on the air. So tight lines, everybody. Have a great week. We're out.
Thanks for watching this morning, y'all. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody hanging out and tuning in and spending your Saturday morning with us. Next week, we'll be live at our new studio in St. Pete, a little closer to the house, which is nice. A little further from Mike. But we'll have to figure this whole thing out. So next week it might look a little different. So tune in to see us work through those problems. And looking forward to another great show next week. Got the final Friday party Friday night. It's going to be awesome. Don't miss out if you haven't joined us yet. We actually have a live DJ, and there's about 7 vendors that we're going to have out with us. Salinity Gear, Beach Bum, Woody's Water Sports. We got Dylan McLean selling stone crab. We've got Doug in there doing the steak and cheese, the pierogies, the gyros. So lots of food, lots of fun, free beer, free music, live music, and a great time this Friday night, 6 to 9 p.m. at John's Pass. And then Saturday for the Bass Pro Shops thing, giving away free trips. And you don't want to miss Capt. Scott Moore on the 28th. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be a good one for sure. Scotty does a great job. So
yeah,
it's good stuff. And listen, I don't need any more help from you guys, okay? Chiming in. He gives me a hard enough time. Y'all got to give me a hard time too?
Don't print the internet, guys.
I love you guys.
Don't print the internet. That Progressive commercial is awesome. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. You have a good week. We'll see you next week. Don't print the internet.